Welcome to NPT TV. I'm Tamara Falansky.
And I'm Randall Mauricio. Controversy has been swirling around the Humane Society of the United States and its CEO, Wayne Pacelle, after comments attributed to him in the Atlantic-Constitution praising the work of football star Michael Vick after his release from prison on dog-fighting charges.
Well, today we have an exclusive interview with Pacelle, but first, a look at our headlines.
Connecticut embraces nonprofits.
Record giving expected in Alaska.
And bad romance can be very charitable.
Well, states like Massachusetts are squeezing more money out of nonprofits. Connecticut is trying to make it easier. Its Governor-elect Dan Malloy selected State Representative Deborah Heinrich for a new cabinet-level position to advocate for nonprofit providers. Dan says, "I have been clear that getting our fiscal house in order will require a shared sacrifice on all our parts. But I've been equally clear that I will not cut the safety net." Engaging the nonprofit community in a concerted, strategic way to maximize services and minimize costs will be a large part of the way in which we do this. Heinrich has been elected 3 times and worked on health and human service legislation. She's a recipient of the Connecticut Association of Nonprofits Legislative Award.
A Blaine, Minnesota group is holding what it's billing as the biggest diaper drive in America at the Mall of America in Bloomington. The nonprofit behind the event is the Diaper Drive, and their slogan is "No Child Wet Behind," spoofing the "No Child Left Behind" education motto. The group hopes to collect 200,000 diapers and raise public awareness about the need. Adding to the fun will be a diaper changing contest and other events. The Diaper Drive accepts both disposable and cloth diapers from newborn to adult sizes. The group also has operations in Duluth and Alexandria, Minnesota, and the Fargo, North Dakota area.
A record number of nonprofits are participating in the Pick, Click, Give program. A checkoff on Alaska's permanent fund dividend application. The program allows recipients to donate part of their PFD to a variety of groups. Alaskans receive an annual check based on oil pumped into state. Some 386 nonprofits are signed up to receive donations this year, an increase of about 6% from last year. Organizers set a goal of $1.5 million, approximately 50% more than last year. In 2010, about 9,500 Alaskans donated part or all of their dividends. The Rasmussen Foundation is funding the drive's administrative costs.
It isn't a bad romance between Lady Gaga and charity. The Grammy Award-winning singer earned the #1 spot on DoSomething.org's list of the top 20 celebs gone good in 2010. Lady Gaga supported gay rights and called for the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. She also hosted the Hands Up for Marriage Equality event and modeled for Mac Viva Glam, donating all the proceeds to HIV/AIDS prevention. Singers Alicia Keys and Taylor Swift took the 2nd and 3rd spots on the list. Keys worked with her organization, Keep a Child Alive, to continue providing AIDS treatments for people around the world. And Swift has supported the relief efforts for the Nashville flooding by donating $500,000. Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore shared spot 4 for their efforts to combat child sex trafficking. Ellen DeGeneres placed 5th with her work to highlight bullying. Nick Jonas was #6 for diabetes awareness. And Matt Damon was 7th by helping provide safe drinking water and sanitation to developing countries. Rounding out the top 10 were Leonardo DiCaprio at 8 for his environmental work and large donation to save endangered tigers. Oprah Winfrey at 9 and Justin Bieber at 10.
Humane Society of the United States CEO Wayne Pacelle has been the target of full-page ads calling for his resignation after quotes attributed to him in the Atlantic-Constitution suggested that after a proper amount of time, it might be all right for Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Michael Vick, who served time in federal prison for running a dogfight enterprise, to again own a dog.
Pacelle has come out swinging, claiming that the Center for Consumer Freedom isn't a real advocacy group and is a front for people who attack advocacy groups. He alleged the CCF supports more than 30 anti-advocacy causes. CCF's HumaneWatch.org site is a nearly daily log of Pacelle's comings and goings, and the organization took out a full-page ad attacking Pacelle in the New York Times when the Eagles were in New Jersey to play the Giants. Pacelle sat exclusively with NPT TV senior editor Mark Herivna to answer the allegations regarding Vick, who has been an active volunteer for HSUS, which received a $50,000 donation from the Eagles when the team signed Vick after he was released from prison.
Wayne, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate your time.
Yes, absolutely.
You told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that you thought Michael Vick would make a good pet owner. Was that an accurate statement in that story?
You know, it was really highly condensed. It was a hypothetical. And I had hoped that once Michael Vick's period of probation ends, if he continues to get counseling, if he continues to do his end dogfighting work and learn about animal protection issues, and if he interacts with animals in a public setting, I hope that he can get to be a good pet owner. That's my hope for every person, even people who've had terrible experience or really did terrible things to animals. I hope they can get to a safe place emotionally for themselves and for the animals so that they can experience the joys of pet keeping. The human-animal bond is an incredible one, and when it gets corrupted or it goes wrong, it's a terrible thing and people need to do time for it. But we want people to get better. And I'm hoping that Michael Vick can personally get to that place, but it's his decision. Once the period of probation ends, then he's not under any duty from the Humane Society or the court to handle the situation. He can do it whatever he wants.
And the reaction was swift from organizations like Humane Watch, which is a typical detractor to Humane Society. But what's been the reaction from Humane Society supporters and constituents?
I think that, you know, the whole association that we had with Vick was not obviously built around him getting a dog. That was his own expression at one public forum because his girls, he has a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, have asked for a dog, and he's not allowed because of the terms of his probation to have an animal. But I decided 16 or 17 months ago, after Vick approached us, to give him the opportunity to speak to at-risk kids, really kids in at-risk communities, to warn them of the evils of dogfighting. He said that he had done terrible things, and now he had turned around, and he wanted to help us combat the problem of dogfighting, the very problem that kind of infected him in the community where he grew up in Newport News. And after a lot of soul-searching on my part and a lot of discussion with him, and our own experiences in working in communities to reach kids at risk, I felt that he had the potential to be a really important ambassador to help us advance the cause. Now, a lot of people in our constituency said, well, why would you ever work with Vick? And their initial reaction was very hostile. But after we explained to them our program and the depth of our program, that we're actually leading the fight to eradicate animal fighting in America, many of them are very understanding and supportive of the project.
There have been some online petitions calling for resignation, backed by organizations like Humane Watch and the Center for Consumer Freedom. Is that something that you or your supporters take seriously?
No, we don't. The Humane Society has its standard critics. I mean, there are groups, corporations that don't like our campaigns against factory farming, against the trophy hunting lobby, against the fur trade. And we have organized resistance, funded resistance from these groups that essentially try to pull apart and pick apart everything that we do. So they would love for me to resign over every act that we take, whether it's a campaign against the fur trade or to end trophy hunting or to stop factory farming or stopping the seal hunt. So these are kind of astroturf campaigns that groups like the so-called Center for Consumer Freedom, which is really just a front group for a variety of interests that want to conceal their attack on the Humane Society, and they use this group to kind of be the tip of the spear. So it doesn't concern me at all. In fact, it's really a point of pride that we are a group that's taking the fight to the biggest animal exploitation industries in the country, and we're so effective at it that they want us to change the way we're doing our business.
You can watch the full interview in our video library. You can share this exclusive interview with your colleagues and friends by using the share options on the screen.
And we'd love to hear your comments on this interview. You can leave them right below this video player. We'll see you in 2 weeks.